Students, hi, and welcome to the second 8 weeks. I realized I opened the course yesterday, Thursday, the 20th. Today is the 21st. And I'm going to go over a few things. Typically, you'll see a video from me introducing the chapters and talking about the next week's assignments on a Saturday morning. And then items are due on a Friday. That's going to be the schedule for the week. So we're kind of easing into our work for this 8 weeks. And so those of you that have had me before, you kind of know the rigor that our class takes. Typically, this business management class, I've always offered it in a 15 or 16 week format. And so I think the 8 week is going to be challenging. So hopefully you're up for the task. And the textbook looks like this. And you don't need to buy the textbook. I have a physical copy of it. It is available free via OpenStax. If you are interested in purchasing it, I've found them on eBay for like $20 if you like having a textbook, like I do. I like having a physical textbook, right? All right, so this business management class basically is going to cover, this principles of management covers a lot of ground. And those of you that are looking to be in management or you're already in management and you would like to be better and you would like to acquire some more leadership qualities, hopefully this course can help you with that. And I'm working on making videos that I can screen share a little bit better. I am still technologically challenged, right? As a person that was typically a face-to-face teacher for years, decades at this point. And then now some of the online modalities, what works best for students. So that being said, I will jump right in. So for the business management class, let's take a quick look at the syllabus. Now, if you go into Blackboard, before I pull up the syllabus, I'm going to talk a little bit about Blackboard. So you can watch this video or have it playing while you, hopefully I can find any of these, while you have Blackboard up if you would like. I feel like that might be an option for you. So when you go into Blackboard, those of you that are brand new, you're going to go to our website, you're going to click on the student resources and scroll down to Blackboard. I did send you that email that told you how to log into Blackboard. Obviously, some of you still might not be able to log into Blackboard. You need to reach out to me or Kimber Forrester for help, or anyone really at the college. So most of you, if you're having any difficulty, you're going to email me directly from your email once you watch this video. So for those of you that are able to get into Blackboard, you see your courses, right? It's the same as previous semesters. Those of you that have had semesters here, you're probably getting sleepy right now when I'm talking about this, right? You're going to click on your courses and your courses should come up. You can pick which format you would like them to be in, either in a list or in the squares. I like the list, but that's just because that's how I always saw them. Principles of Management is there, Business 103-8B1. You click on it. Now, from the student aspect, I'm going to switch mine over to student preview so I can explain it how all you will see when you click into this course. I don't even have a start here. Most of you have had a course. I recognize names here before at EC3. So when you click on the course, you're going to see a few things. You'll see my picture. That's an older picture, but I keep it because it's there. And it says Catherine Robertson, your instructor. There's some things on the side there: roster, Blackboard, collaborate, view your attendance, all those things. You'll see two things. You'll see one heading, course content. You'll see headings across the top: content, calendar, discussions, gradebook, messages. But you'll see in the main area, course content, there's two things there: course specific content and weekly folders. Course specific content, I'll click on that first. You click on the arrow. If you're looking at your screen, it's to the right of your screen. And there are 4 things in there right now. There's a link that's my introduction. If you haven't been on, you want to do that. And it just talks a little bit about my background and where I'm coming from. Next, you'll see a PDF of the textbook. It is quite a few pages, set with 500 plus pages. So you might not want to you want to download it, but you might not want to print it out, right? Or you may just, if you like things printed out, you may just want to order that text, which you can find. If you have difficulty, email me and I'll find you one. I think I got mine for like $20 on eBay. But you can order them from OpenStax directly if you want. Principles of Management text is right there for you. And then the syllabus is there. The 4th thing is a LibGuide that our librarian put together, which is great. It helps you with APA writing and different things. That is in every course that I teach. Now, the syllabus, I'm going to breeze kind of through the syllabus. If you've been here before, you know how they look. Has all my information. This is asynchronous class, which we have weekly assignments. My phone is there. You can use my phone to get a hold of me if you have trouble with your email, but text only. I won't answer a phone call. Typically, my phone is off or on silent most of the time, or it's on silent. So, but I see text messages, and we can arrange a time to talk, or Zoom, or collaborate, or meet in person. Course description. This course introduces theory and basic principles of management. Most of you have already read that. A few objectives that we're going to go through. Talk about human resource management. Most of you probably already read through the syllabus. Talking about ethics and diversity, some of the topical things, group dynamics, decision making, communication processes, and labor relations, all of those fun things, right? As you look through the text, when you download the text, make sure you have it downloaded to your computer so that you have it when you're offline, right? A lot of things you're going to want to download, have a folder on your computer and download. And so if you can't get on Blackboard or you're having an issue, you have it downloaded to your computer. You can erase it once you're done with the class, but I would say everything you do, download it. Download the syllabus for sure. You may want to print it out too. I like to print it out, and then I have it and I can check off when I do stuff, and I remember what everything is worth. So if you get to the second part, it says required text. I already showed you the text. There is an ISBN on there if you want to purchase a textbook, but you can go to OpenStax as well, but the PDF is there for you on Blackboard. If you are having difficulty downloading it, reach out to me, or if you're having difficulty getting onto Blackboard. Prerequisite. You don't have to have English 101, you just have to be eligible for it. So some students needed a little extra scaffolding and needed to take English 90 in order to be eligible for English 101. So if you're one of those students, make sure you have English 90 under your belt, which I think everybody in this class does. There's not a prerequisite of English 101 though, to be in the class. All right, so there's 4 main assignments for us, and there's discussion, weekly homework, and presentations. Oh, and my dog's probably gonna bark here shortly because I hear the bus pulling up. And so I actually might do a quick pause. And it did not pause, did it? All right, I'm back. So the syllabus, back to the syllabus. Here we go. 4 topics. Discussions. There's 6 discussions. They are worth 4% each. And there is, so there's 24% in discussions. So you need to do all your discussions. Students, every term, they lose points because they skip a discussion. Even if it isn't your best discussion, make sure you post something so you get some credit versus a 0. You want to capture all the points that you can throughout the semester because they all affect your final grade. I just did grades for this last term, and I had students that did excellent on their exams. They didn't turn in homework, they didn't do discussions, and they maybe got A's in their exams. They ended up with a B or C because they didn't get all those other points. Other students that maybe got a B or C on their final, and they did everything, and they did everything really well with their homework, with their discussions, all those things, they ended up with an A for the course. And so it's really important that you do your best work, or at least get some points if you have things going on, right? Because it's only 8 weeks and there are points for each of these things. Discussion, weekly homework assignments, there's a presentation and a final exam. So all of that is listed. Then the percentages, take a look through your syllabus and make sure that you understand those, and email me if you have any questions. I did put a few things on there about classes. If you make contact with me by October 28th, otherwise you will be referred to student services for non-attending. So email me, or even if you forget to email me, make sure you post something, do something so I know that you are around by Friday, October 28th. And so I do have assignments due. The 28th is your first day that assignments are due. That's next Friday night, week from today. So you would typically get new stuff on a Saturday. Sometimes I open it up early and then I just post a video though on Saturday talking about the next items that are due for the week. And then they are due the following Friday night. The term ends on a Friday night in December 16th. All right, so I talk a little bit here in the syllabus about the discussion posts. There are 6 discussion posts, and they are 4% each. So if you miss a discussion, you miss 4 points of your grade. You could have 100 in everything else, and you're already down to a 96 for the class, right? You miss 2 discussions, you're down to a 92. So typically, if you make an attempt at a discussion, you make an attempt, decent attempt at a homework assignment, you turn those things in on time, you get full credit. So really, it's an easy component of your grade. That's 66% of your grade, homework and discussion. 66. And so if you think about that's, if you do all of your homework and all of your discussions, you can pass the class with a D, right? That's just you. And not that I want you to do that, but that's how important these homework assignments are and getting them into me. Presentation is worth that you'll email me is worth 10%, and your final exam is worth 24%. That's how I have the numbers written out. So I'm trying something a little bit different with grading. I do have all the due dates there for the discussions. So if you want to, I will try to get some of the discussions posted ahead. They correspond with chapters though, so they kind of go along with the chapter. So I'm thinking about, because there is so much work in this class, or just a lot of stuff to handle, trying to get a couple weeks worth of stuff up there so you can work ahead if you have weeks that you might know you have an issue. Again, reach out to me from a communication standpoint. If you are having some sort of, you have something going on, again, though, you're in school. And when you're in school, the priority is you have to get schoolwork done and tell people around you, you tell your work, you tell your family, I have schoolwork going on. I'm a student now. You have to make schoolwork a priority. Now, I would not schedule any major surgery. Do not schedule any major trips. Do not schedule anything out of the ordinary while you are taking 8-week courses in college, because you will run into trouble. If you have a week that you are in trouble, it can change your whole grade, right? Because these are only 8-week courses. For right now, we're offering mostly 8-week. All right. Assignments, there's 7. And they are worth 6% each. So you have a total homework grade of 42%. So if you miss a homework assignment, you're down to a 94, right? So you do not want to miss assignments. I give credit for late assignments. You won't get full credit, but you get the majority of credit. So if you miss an assignment, turn it in late. I don't care. As long as I eventually see it, you will get a decent amount of points and it won't hurt you as much. Final exam, there's only one exam for this class. That's the best way I could do it, to squeeze everything in that we need to, versus have a midterm in there as well. So it's comprehensive for all chapters. At the end, there is a presentation you will email me. It's to get you working with PowerPoint. It's a summation to the course. You'll choose a chapter, so you can be thinking about this now, from the text, and you will design your own PowerPoint, 7 to 10 slides. Typically, the PowerPoints that you will see that relate to the chapters are 8 to 10 slides. So you're going to make your own PowerPoint it's to practice using PowerPoint for the chapter that you like the most, or maybe you like the least, whichever suits your interest. And that is due at the end of the semester and is emailed to me directly. So if you do not know how to make PowerPoint presentations, we have an excellent resource in our librarian, Mary Howells, and she will help you with that. But I will talk a little bit more about that as the semester moves along. But if you wanted to get a jump on that, if we come across a chapter that you really like, you can start working on your PowerPoint presentation and get your project out of the way early, if you'd like. I have some things in there about late assignments. Make sure you read through that. Grading is pretty straightforward. 60% gets you a D, 70 and above gets you a C, 80 to 89 is a B, and 90 to 100 is an A. Last semester that just ended, I had a few students that just squeaked by with an A. They had a 91, right, or 90.5. I had other students that maybe ended up with an 88. That's a high B, but it's still a B, right? And the way the grading goes is you get an A, B, C, or D for your grade. So you really want to try to get as many points as possible. I have on there about communication. Just make sure you read through this syllabus thoroughly so you know what the expectations are. Our mission statement is their academic integrity. Make sure that you are not doing anything plagiaristic, or any type of cheating of any type is not tolerated, which none of you are, so I'm not worried, right? Anyone that has a disability, we have a counselor that works with disability-related accommodations or services. Also, Andrea Campbell, I have her email on here, is our veterans she's our veterans administrator, so she can help you with any type of veterans things that you may need, whether it's funding or whatever it might be. So she helps with that as well. acampbell@ec3pa.org. I know I'm giving you a lot of info, but this first video is usually pretty long. I also have some things in there about student services. You can contact Dean of Students, Dr. Bowman. I have her email there. You can contact Clarissa in Student Services. Her email is there. And of course, you can contact me in confidentiality. It reigns, right? If you have an issue with any type of basic needs, you are running into some sort of food issue, a safe and stable place to live, a lack transportation, anything that might hurt your performance in the course, reach out to us. We have things in place that can help you if you are feeling a certain way. In the writing lab, Mary Howells, you're going to want to get in touch with her. She is our wonderful, wonderful librarian, and she loves all of my students. She always tells me that, right? Course schedule. So you're going to want to look through the course schedule. For some reason, it comes across a little bit different. I might put a PDF up there switch this over to a PDF so it looks a little smoother, because I'm looking at it from a student preview, and even though it's a Word doc, it comes across kind of goofy. We move rather quickly through the chapters. We do 2 chapters a week. And you have 6 discussions. So that's a lot going on there. And that last week, though, your PowerPoint is due that last week. We review for the final exam, and we have the final exam. I open it up that first day. You have a week to do that final exam. And so we won't cover any new material, but we will do some reviewing. Additionally, each week you will see PowerPoints posted, and you will typically see at least one video that is separate from my videos. So let's go into week 1. I don't want to make this too long. Make sure okay, we're at 16 minutes. Okay. Usually I like to keep it to like 4 to 6. I'm working on getting my PowerPoints, having my videos up there so they are like a personalized lecture. But that hopefully partway through the semester, you'll start to see some of those. Right now, I just have those up there. They are typically in a 8 to 10 format. The review of the chapters is what we see. So when you click on weekly folders, the first thing you will see is week 1, due Friday, 10/28. And I have a list there of things that I want you to do, but those things will also be included in the email that has this link to the video that you are now watching. So those things will be in there. So for week 1, you are going to read chapters 1 and 2 in the text, right? You have the PDF form. The text looks like this. Read chapters 1 and 2 in the text. Now, chapters 1 and 2 in the text, I will touch base with these chapters. Managing and performing is chapter 1. What do managers do? The roles managers play, and what are the major characteristics of the manager's job? And so that starts on page 7. And it kind of goes through and outlines, it's not a super long chapter, but it talks about some of the things that executive managers do, conceptually. Do they rely more on conceptual skills, human skills, or technical skills, right? So our first line managers, they're pretty technical. They need to know exactly what's happening, right? From a technical standpoint. They rely on their human resource skills, right, to deal with interactions and their interpersonal skills. And just a small bit of conceptual skills, meaning less, more executive functioning and problem solving, less than that. So then as we get to the middle managers, what you will see are some technical skill, some human resources, and some conceptual. It's when we get to those executive level positions that really is where the decision making and strategic planning happens, and more conceptual skills. So just something to think about when you're looking through chapter 1. There's a couple models in there that I think you'll find useful, and talking a little bit about how to make decisions and managers' jobs vary. So that's chapter 1. And then chapter 2 starts talking about decision making and managerial decision making, and some of the basic characteristics that you might want to follow in decision making. Some of the systems that are used in the brain when we make decisions, program versus non-program decisions, some of the barriers we face, right, as managers to our decision making, and also how we treat people and our human resource capabilities. Let's see what else. How do we improve our, right? How can we know where we stand now? How do we make it better? So there's a few tips in this chapter. And also talking a little bit about group decision-making. Now, there are a couple names that are going to come up in your homework, right? And so that's from chapter 2, and I will talk to you about the homework. So this a little bit more in depth, this first video, because each chapter or each week is going to look pretty much the same. So this first chapter, there's homework up there, and it is a Word doc. So the easiest thing to do is to download it, right? If it won't open as a preview, just download it. It's a Word doc. Save it to your computer, and you can write right on it, and then you're going to save it and email it to me. That's how you're going to get that across to me. So the first chapter, managing and performing, I have, let's see, a total of 6 questions there for you. Just a review of what does it mean to be a manager. There's a question about John Cotter. Cotter's mentioned in the text. He's a professor at Harvard Business School, and they do a lot there. The Harvard Business Review talks a lot about management. It's a whole publication that they do have. You probably heard of it. And so some of the things in there, I've removed some of the links, so you won't see that. I had links in there before for you to go to, but I removed those links, but it still says in there, read the following links. You don't need to do that. Just what you found in the text, right? The same with Mintzberg. Mintzberg did research as well into management. You'll read about him in the text in chapter 1. So those are the 2 names really from chapter 1, and review from this. These are review questions, right, to kind of jog your memory on the things that I found most important from the chapter. And then, and they're kind of broken down into the different components of the chapter. You'll see 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So I try to make it pretty. If you have to go back into the chapter to refer to it, you can find where these items are. And then in the third part, 1.3, there are a few things that ask about conceptual, human, and technical skill sets. Chapter 2, I have 7 questions. Chapter 2 is a little bit longer, so just go through those questions. You can write on these, right? You download it, write on it, and then send it back to me. So, and you email it to me. So that is how the homework goes relating to chapter 1 and 2. Homework is going to be similar every week. It's going to be a review of the chapter. And I will tell you that on the final exam, there will be a good portion of the points that come directly from these homework assignments. They're short answer questions, right? Those of you that had me before know that if you do really well in your homework, you will do really well in your exam, because the homework is basically a study guide for my exam. And even for any multiple choice I might have, you are going to see them pulled directly from these homework type questions. And the homework questions highlight the most important things I feel from these chapters. So whether you want to learn about management or not, you are going to be reading the chapter, reviewing the PowerPoint, and then you work on these homework assignments. And through that process, guess what? The stuff's going to sink in either way, right? That's my goal. And so you have up here under week 1, that homework assignment. You have 2 PowerPoints up there, 1 and 2. Those are just a quick review for you to walk through the chapters. There's also a video that I want you to watch. It is a YouTube video called 7 Tips for New Supervisors and Managers, which I find particularly exciting, managers and leaders. And you can watch this at your leisure, watch it with a friend, I don't care. It's a fun video that will hopefully be informative and offer you a different perspective than just the videos that I give you, and is really tailored to this idea of supervising and managing. There also, week 1 is full of surprises, right? You do have an extra day because I'm assigning stuff today. Or some of you have already started working on these items. There's also a discussion 1 that is up, and the discussion 1 is listed there under week 1, and it is due next Friday as well. And so you're going to click on all these items, click on discussion 1, for example, and when you go to discussion 1, I'm looking through here, discussion 1. I flip back over to discussion 1. You'll click on it. It's right there in the weekly folder, and try to keep it simple. It says, you've been asked whether your organization should expand from selling its products only in North America to selling its products in Europe as well. Okay, so if you work for an organization, great. If you are not working for an organization, maybe you work for yourself, or you're just a full-time student right now, whatever it might be, right? You're parenting, whatever you're doing, picture yourself working for a company, right? Pick a company maybe that you worked for in the past, or a company you'd like to work for. Sell products here in the US. You're thinking, hey, we might want to sell our products in Europe. Okay, so 2 things. From chapters 1 and 2, you should be able to figure out a couple sentences that you could write for me here. What information would you want to collect, right? To think about, okay, we want to sell in Europe. What information do you need to collect? And you can make a list like in bullet points, or you could write a couple sentences out. And number 2, who would you want to discuss the idea with before making a decision? Okay, so remember, at your work, place of business, you've been asked whether your organization should expand. Somebody asked you, a higher up asked you, should we expand into Europe? What would be Again, you're all going to have different answers, right? Some of the answers will be similar, but you're going to have different answers. So I want you to think outside the box and have a little fun. What information would you like to collect, right, to make this decision? And who would you want to discuss the idea with before making a decision? You can chime in on other folks' discussion posts, but you do not have to for this discussion, right? And so that is your discussion. It relates to chapter 2, and I have that in there in discussion 1. It relates to chapter 2. So those are your assignments for week 1. You're going to read chapters 1 and 2, review the PowerPoint, check out the video, 7 tips for new supervisors, check out the homework, complete the homework and email it to me. And then you are going to complete the discussion post for the course. Now, I will touch base with you probably at the beginning of the week, send another short video and see, just kind of giving you an update as to where we are. And if you have questions if you get into this work and you have questions about any of it, send them to me and I will address them then on Monday over the weekend, unless, I'll address you directly. But if I have multiple questions about the same thing, I'll include it in a short video for you. So hopefully you find this information exciting. This is week 1 of an 8-week course. So review your syllabus, grab the textbook and download it from that. It's in course-specific content, and then start in on week 1 and let me know if you have any questions. If you have any trouble accessing Blackboard, reach out to me as soon as possible as well. I send emails to the group as a whole from my email, not through messaging Blackboard. Okay, messaging Blackboard can be a little tricky. I prefer direct email. It's up to each individual instructor what they want to do. I prefer direct email. You email me directly, I email you directly, right? As a group, the entire class. So you will get updates from me. If you have any additional questions, you can reach out to me. My phone number, that's one of my pets trying to break into my office, right? My phone number is on there. My email is on there. You have ways to reach me. It is Friday, 10/21. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all soon.